Part 2, Specific Relief. Chapter 1, Recovering Possession of Property. Section 5 to 8. Recovery of specific movable property is defined Section 5 of Specific Relief Act. Recovery of specific immovable property may be made under Section 5 of the Specific Relief Act according to the Law of Code of Civil Procedure. Mere possession of title is enough to maintain an action under Section 5 of Specific Relief Act 1963. Under Section 6, Subsection 2, Subclause A of Specific Relief Act, no suit shall be brought after expiry of what period from the deposition? 6 months. Specific Relief Act. Which of the following contract can be specifically enforced? A contract for which is in its nature determinable. Which one of the following deposition is not correct? B is not correct. Which one is correct? R. The plaintiff is entitled to seek a decree of specific performance of contract of compensation in lieu of specific performance under the Specific Performance Act. The court may grant possession, partition, or separate possession to the plaintiff in addition to specific performance of contract. The court may direct refund, earnest money, or deposit made by specific performance is refund. Which one of the following are true about the word possession used in the Section 5 of a Specific Relief Act? This question is omitted. Which one of the following kind of remedy cannot be granted under Specific Relief Act? Writ of prohibition, which are granted declaratory decree, rescission of contract, recovery of the possession of the property. Under Section 6 of Specific Relief Act, if a person is disposed without his consent of immovable property, otherwise than in due course of law, to recovery possession, he has to prove his prior possession. What is prescribed period of limitation for filing civil suit challenging the disposition of plaintiff on ground that the land has been illegally acquired by the government? None, as the suit is non-maintainable. Which one of the following section of SRA deal with recovery of specific movable property? 7. In an order or decree passed in a suit presented under Section 6 of SRA is neither appealable nor reviewable. If a person disposed from immovable property without due course of law, he has to file a suit for possession within 6 months. A suit for recovery of possession under SRA cannot be filed against a government. SRA where the agreement is made with minor, fill the blank, cannot be given. A suit under Section 6 of SRA can be filed for recovery of possession of immovable property. Under Section 6 of SRA, a suit for recovery of possession of immovable property may be brought within dash from the date of deposition. 6 months. The question of title is irrelevant under Section 6 of SRA. Suit for deposition of immovable property under Section 6 of SRA shall be brought within 6 months from the deposition. Under SRA, a suit for recovery of possession can be filed in respect of both movable and immovable property. SRA, plaintiff without having any title, file a suit for permanent injunction against the deposition based on long possession. Law respect to possession, plaintiff cannot be deposed except in accordance with law. Under Section 6 of SRA, a suit can be brought by tenancy of holding over. By virtue of Section 6 of SRA, a suit for possession of immovable property can be filed within the period of dash of deposition. 6 months. A suit for possession of immovable property under Section 6 of SRA can be filed within 6 months of deposition. No suit for recovery of possession may be instituted under Section 6 of SRA against government. Under Section 6 of SRA, both A and B are correct. A tenant can file a suit for possession even against the landlord on the ground that he was unlawfully disposed of by the landlord. No question of title, either of the plaintiff or defendant, can be raised on or going into that case. A defendant in a suit for recovery of possession of immovable property cannot take the plea of lawful title and in alternative the plea of adverse possession, as two are authentical to each other, antithetical. Which section of SRA prohibit filing of a case against the government? Section 6. No suit under Section 6 of SRA of the Act for recovery of possession of immovable property may not be instituted a person disposed without the consent against the government. A person is disposed of the immovable property without due course of law. When can he bring a suit of recovery of possession under section 6 of the act? Period. 6 month. Limitation to file a suit for recovery of SRA under section 6 of SRA is 6 month. A suit for recovery of possession of immovable property under section 6 of SRA can be filed against a private individual only. Saroj was granted government land. She was disposed without her consent. She instituted a suit against the government under section 6 of SRA for recovering the possession of property. The court rejected the plaint under Order 7 Rule 11D of CPC. Whether rejection is a proper? Yes, because suit under section 6 against the government would not be lie. Under section 6 of SRA, a person can sue for recovery of possession of immovable property after 6 months from the date of deposition. A person cannot sue after 6 months. Suit for recovery of possession of immovable property under section 6 of SRA can be filed against a private individual only. In a suit under section 6 of SRA, the court can none of the above. As a shopkeeper has kept the good for sale on the pavement outside the shop and constructed temporary overhead shed, Flying Squad of NCT of Delhi demolished the temporary construction and seized the good from the pavement without giving him any notice. After 1 year, S filed a suit for recovery of possession of the pavement against NCT Delhi under section 6 of SRA. The suit is barred to be filed both A and B against the government after the prescribed period. In order to succeed in a suit for specific performance of contract for sale, the plaintiff has to avail the proof that his readiness and willingness to perform the contract. The limitation period for filing a suit by a person disposed of immovable property is within 6 months from the date of deposition. Under section 6 of SRA, suit by a person disposed of immovable property shall not be bought after the expiry of 6 months from the date of deposition. Question of title to immovable property in a suit under section 6 of SRA is irrelevant. Under section 6 of SRA, a suit of the possession of immovable property can be filed within 6 months from the deposition. Which section provide for a specific remedy of possession by way of summary procedure for the person disposed of immovable property without the consent, otherwise due course of law. Section 6. What is the time limit for filing a recovery of possession of immovable property under section 6 of SRA? 6 months. No suit for recovery of possession can be instituted by person disposed without the consent of immovable property otherwise than due course of the law against the government. A suit filed by the plaintiff P against D under section 6 of SRA is decreed in the favor of P. The remedy against the decree for D to file revision. Which one of the following section of SRA deal with the recovery of immovable property? Section 6. Period of limitation for filing the possession under section 6 of SRA is 6 months. Which one of the following is incorrect in reference of section 6 of SRA? This section bar a person from suing or establish his title of the property is wrong. No suit under this section shall be brought against the government. No appeal lie an order or decree passed in any suit instituted in this section. If any person is disposed without his consent of immovable property otherwise than due course of law, he may institute a suit for recovery of possession notwithstanding with other title that may be set up in such suit. 6 months from the date of the deposition. A, B, C are co-partner. A is in separate possession of joint family property. He sell it to D and put D in the possession. B and C sue for declaration of title of the property in a joint family property. The court will dismiss the suit as plaintiff are in the position to claim consequential relief of possession. Under section 7 of SRA, a person is entitled to the possession of a specific movable property, may recover it in the manner provided by which legislation? Code of Civil Procedure. Under section 7 of SRA, the recovery of movable property can be made by all of the above: finder of movable property, buyer of movable property, bailee of movable property. Suit under section 8 of SRA is not competent against a person who is the owner of article claimed. Under section 8 of SRA, a person shall not entitled to specific relief of delivery of a movable property in which one of the following case: when compensation is money, would be adequate relief for the loss of thing claimed. Section 8 of SRA can be invoked against a person who has possession or control over the article. Which of the following is not an essential condition for applicability of section 8 of SRA? The defendant must be the owner of property. Which one are essential condition? Article must be a movable property. Article must be in the possession and control of the defendant. Plaintiff must be entitled to immediate possession of the article. Section 8 of SRA cannot be invoked against a person who has control over the property. Following is not an essential condition for applicability of section 8 of SRA. The defendant must be the owner of the property. Suit for recovery of possession based on the previous possession of a person can be filed by such a person even against the real owner of the property who has disposed by him within 6 months of his disposition. The engagement diamond ring of Anne was stolen by T, a thief who sold it to J Jewelers. Anne filed a suit for recovery of the ring against J. J contended that he is ready to pay the price for the ring. Whether the decree for recovery of ring can be refused on the ground that none of these. Compensation in term of money would be adequate relief for loss of the ring. Wrong. J is a bona fide purchaser of the consideration. Wrong. There is no dual relation between N and J. Wrong. It is the principle of law that person who has been long and continue possession can protect the same by seeking injunction against any person in the whole world other than the true owner. The above statement is true.